next fight we have is Michael the Menace Johnson versus Marc Diakiese, the Bone Crusher.
They say he fights boring and it's not exciting. But then prior, when he was losing, people were saying you need to mix it up your wrestling with your striking. It's almost like he can't win, but now he's winning. So, I mean, that's all that matters.
He got an odd record too here, man. I'm looking and I'm seeing Timu. I'm seeing he lost to Drakkar Close, split decision. He lost to Dan Hooker by guillotine choke. He lost to Nasrat. He beat Joe Duffy. He beat Lando. Lost to Fiziev. Lost to Alves.
That fight he should not have lost though. The Rafael Alves. The fight didn't last long. He got beat so fast, man.
Yeah. Now he's on a 2-fight win streak against 2 beatable people.
Those guys ain't got the best takedown defense.
I mean, good wins. He beat him in a particular way that's different.
You know what's weird? People were saying they should have stood the fight up. And it's so strange because Colby, Covington, some of these fighters, GSP has a whole career of just laying on top of opponents, not doing nothing.
What about the times Mark got taken down and held down and it was just like, hey, your wrestling is bad. But now you start wrestling. No, stand the fight up. You know why? Because they want the fight on the feet because they know he's spinning and jumping and doing. It's basically saying, hey man, when you wrestle, it's boring. When you standing up, it's cool. Yeah, but he losing because when you can't knock people out and then they just wrestle you.
They say because he's not going for a finish, but it's a lot of wrestlers who fight like that, and it's weird. They pick and choosing who can set people down and not go for finish. And who can't. So that's kind of odd.
When Mark take people down, he barely just got the wrestling thing going.
Yeah.
So when he gets people down, it's not submissions, it's not ground and pound. It's literally just wrestling, bro. It can make for a dry fight. But on the other side, I know in the multiverse, man, in another dimension, this dude had to be the Khabib of the lightweight division because he's fought everybody. He done beat everybody. He done lost to everybody. It is just the most odd thing.
Michael Johnson has 9 submission losses. Oh my God.
Hey, but luckily he fighting Marc Diakiese here. I want to start this off by saying he took the Jamie Mullarkey fight on short notice, and he definitely was supposed to win that fight. I don't think nobody watched that fight and thought Jamie won that.
I think people have short memory because he got hurt at the end of the first round. And sometimes that's all you remember. But he hurt him at the beginning of the first round.
Yeah, but he hurt Jamie way worse than that. I don't understand what was going on with that decision because, man, that kind of messed up things because Michael would have been on a 2-fight win streak here. It is what it is, man. But now he get to fight Marc Diakiese. And unfortunately for him, Mark is not the same guy from a year ago. A year ago or 2 years ago, yeah, I would go Michael because I figured it'd be a stand-up fight.
Mark could be a little bit too timid on the feet, man. Sometimes he really don't do a lot of anything. He just let people just outpoint him some kind of way. I don't know why he doesn't do a lot of nothing. So I think like a year or two ago, Michael will win an easy fight the way Mark fights now, man. And I don't give Michael no chance, to be honest.
Because we know that Mark now is he's looking at Michael the way people looked at him. I know Michael gonna get wrestled in this fight, man. But I will say this, Michael not an easy person to hold down. Mark can only get him down. He can't hold him down, and Mark don't go for submissions. On the other side, if you was ever going to start trying to learn how to take people down and start going for submission, this would be the fight. But Michael, oddly enough, he ain't an easy person to submit. When you look at the people who submitted him, Darren Elkins, Khabib, Reza Madadi at the time, I want to make it very clear. Dude, Paul Sass, he only had one move, a heel hook. It ain't like everybody can just go in there and do it. I really don't think Mark will be able to submit him, but I think that Mark will more than likely just try to use the wrestling because he ain't finna stand up with Michael. He trying to get on the 3-fight win streak. I'm just hoping to the Lord that Michael can pull it off some kind of way.
I don't know, man. It's just the one thing, the deciding factor is Mark don't pull the trigger. I can't get over that. I don't think he can hold Michael down. He has good wrestling, but I don't think he has, dang, but I done seen Michael submitted so many times, man. Do Mark have any submissions?
Mark low-key don't want to be on the ground himself.
He got 1 submission.
Mark really don't want to be there himself. He just figuring out, like, if I don't do it to them, they're going to do it to me. One thing I will say is Mark don't pull the trigger enough on the feet because instead of him just kind of being busy and active and controlling the fight, he's looking for a highlight reel that he oftentimes don't get anyway. Because you go back and look at his wins.
It's that, but it's also his style, too.
It was 2 knockout wins, man. Like,
I understand. It's that, but it's also his style. He's kind of a defensive fighter. There ain't nothing wrong with that, bro. Nobody wants to get knocked out because he has 0 knockout losses. Ooh, that's also interesting, too. He had 0 knockout losses. Man.
Wow. But see, it's funny because he's very powerful, but he's very timid. It's almost like he's looking for a highlight reel knockout. But on the other end, Michael is going to be a little bit more busy, but then it's like he make decisions that ultimately cost him the fight. Like he made 1 mental lapse at the last part of that first round against Jamie Mullarkey, and that cost him the entire fight.
Dude, Michael got this thing he does when it's hard to watch. He ducks down and just throws the left hand.
I know.
And just like, bro, you got to mix it up. You can't keep doing the same thing over again. That's probably what cost him the fight, which I still think he done enough to win. But at the same time, like against Mark, bro, that might cost him the fight, man. To be honest,
The difference is Mark ain't gonna do nothing with it.
I know.
He ain't gonna throw no spinning back
yeah,
kick.
I know.
He ain't gonna do nothing with it. So I'm gonna go with Michael Johnson, man. And I know it ain't a smart decision, but I'm rocking with Michael Johnson, man.
I'm gonna have to go with Mark on this one, man. He's definitely gonna get Michael to the ground and win a 3-round decision.